Hi, this is Second Story Garage. I'm Quentin Young here with Aspen Hourglass from Fort Collins.
Hello.
Got Sean, Grayson, and Elvin. Thanks for coming in today.
Oh, thank you for us.
Listen to you guys. You guys are crazy good on your instruments, and I have the feeling lots of money went into getting you guys some practice on your instruments. Is that true? Or do you just teach yourself to be that good?
I would say lots of isolation.
So,
Whoa.
quick story. I mean, I don't mean to speak for Grayson, but both of us grew up in the mountains where there was nothing better to do other than play an instrument.
And when you're playing drums in the mountains, you don't have neighbors telling you to be quiet and
parents.
stuff. Yeah.
Out there.
No, I mean, I guess I just fell in love with classical music at a young age, so the only way to cultivate that skill, I mean, just playing piano anyway is just isolation, because, I mean, the majority of the repertoire is for solo, so I just was stuck in my room, and it was just piano and Zelda.
It's a good combo, though.
Yeah.
That's a great combo.
I grew up in a really small town called Del Norte, Colorado. It's about an hour north of the New Mexico border.
Yeah.
And I lived about 6 miles out of town. And, of course, I didn't have, a permit growing up for most of my life, until I was like 15 or 16. So up until 16, I was like...
for driving or
Yeah, exactly.
That's when most people get it, though, right?
Yep.
15? Yeah.
But anyways, I ended up just playing in my room for, hours and hours and hours. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Now, your technique, as a matter of fact, is a big part of your sound here, because you do a tapping technique on your guitar.
Slap tap.
Slap tap.
Percussive tapping.
Yeah. And so who was your influence for that?
Primarily Andy McKee, and then as I started finding out more about the artists that Candy Rat Records was representing, I started to just really kind of steal a lot of their stuff and then eventually kind of make it into my own style. Mm-hmm. And I remember watching Andy McKee when I was, I think it was like 6 years ago on YouTube, and he was a YouTube sensation. I'm sure you've heard of him.
That's where I first got introduced. I mean, back in like middle school or late high school, it was Andy McKee was
and just kind of, I actually created the first song I created in that style was called Aspen Hourglass.
Is that where the name of the band came from?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
I suppose.
We used to be called Sovereign Sounds for like 3 months.
No one could spell it. That's the problem.
Or
like
say
sovereign is.
Saying it in a bar was really hard. Sovereign Sounds, like what?
Yeah.
So we changed that real quick.
Who are your influences as a band?
That's what's so weird about that story is we don't really have any influences. There's not many artists that all three of us come together and say, this is our artist.
I can't think of one, really.
Yeah, it's
I hear some 80s progressive rock.
Right on.
And not a lot of people doing that anymore. And you guys
That's this guy mostly.
Yeah.
So I grew up on Rush. Like that was my.
I was thinking Rush.
I grew up on Rush and Yes.
Yeah.
Those two, Alan White and Neil Peart.
You're doing it.
That's who taught me how to play drums, right? Through DVDs and all that.
On CD Baby, they tell you to like name 3 artists that are most similar, and the 3 artists that we chose were Andy McKee, Chopin, and then Incubus. It's just like what?
Incubus, dude. I love it.
Incubus, or Rush, but. Yeah. Rush is like a tenor.
Well, here's the proof. Let's do a little plug here.
Goodness, here we go.
You just put this out 5 days ago, you just told me.
Friday, Friday.
Wow, pretty exciting. What's it called?
It's titled Navigate, The artwork on there, Joel Decatur. Decatur.
Yeah, he did awesome.
Decatur.
Recorded
Decatur. Recorded at Aloft Studios. Absolutely fantastic. Out of Littleton, Colorado.
Yeah. And it was mastered right here in Boulder.
At Airshow Master.
Yeah. Did you have
turned
the
out
famous
phenomenal.
Glasser?
We did.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He's a guy.
Very cool. Yeah. Speaking of plugs, you have a couple of shows coming up that are pretty cool. You're preparing to go down to South by Southwest in March, but you also have a couple of cool Colorado shows. Tell us real quick about that.
The first one is coming up in April.
Chautauqua Community House. April 10th.
Boulder?
April 10th, yeah.
Yep.
And you're playing Mishawaka and Buell Theater.
We're playing the Buell, for an event called Murmuration 2015.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's
Do you know the date on that?
It's May 30th. And then I'm also going on a solo tour April 17th through May 17th. just up the western United States. So if anybody's interested in seeing like the style of Aspen Hourglass really stripped down, they can watch me on any of those.
Yeah, speaking of your solo stuff, you have a video out right now for a song called 8.
Yeah.
That's getting crazy views on YouTube. What are you up to now?
It's getting close to, I think, 50,000. And, you know, it just keeps climbing every day. It's kind of like, at first everybody was like, you know, really like watching it and saying like, oh my God, you got like 10,000 views in one day. And then, you know, of course the views start to taper off, but like, it's just crazy. Like,
well, what's cool about it, you get to really see your technique, what we're talking about here.
It's just, and it's funny because like that, I wrote that song to try to converge all of the techniques that I had formed at the time. You know, I have the over-the-top guitar playing, and then I have like the Trace Bundy, who's from Boulder, I think, style where you're actually playing the rhythm with the right hand and the lead with the left. And I have chords in there as well, finger flat picking, and I mean, I just try to shove it all in there and then actually make it sound like it was you know, melodic and. Yeah.
That's a good approach to making music. Just shove it all in there.
Shove it all in there. And then,
that's actually like a good life motto.
Might as well just shove it.
Just try to make it work.
Make it melodic. What are you doing? I'm shoving it all in there.
We get as much as I can. Well, another interesting point is that Elvin just joined the band less than a year ago.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm pleased to be here. I was a fan first, so it's kind of it was a weird transition because I would go to, you know, this I can't even count how many shows I went to theirs just as a fan without, I mean, always in the back of my head I'm like, that'd be cool to play. Then I joined over summer. I remember I woke up, I think I was just slightly hungover, and he just called me and it's like, you want to join the band? It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can do that.
Excited, maybe, sure, whatever.
And then within a few days, we went on our first like small tour to New Mexico and Colorado. Then as soon as we came back, we headlined the Fox here in Boulder. I was in the band for like a month or less.
We gave him about a week to learn 3 hours plus, 4 hours worth of music, and said, we're leaving on tour in a week. Go. And yeah, it's stuck. I mean, holy cow, look what we're doing now. It's fantastic.
It's working. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Really cool.
Our pleasure.
Thank you guys so much for having us. This is a really cool place.
This is Second Story Garage. Shove it all in there and make it melodic.
I love it.